Hey guys, in this video I'm going to teach you the role of the wrist on your forehand. So the role of the wrist on the forehand side is quite a controversial topic. Many coaches believe that there should be a kind of snap of the wrist as you come into contact and follow through, whereas many other players believe that that is completely incorrect, and I am a coach that believes that is incorrect too. Snapping the wrist on the forehand side is only ever going to lead to negative consequences. Not only are you more likely to get injured with your wrist significantly and your elbow, you're also going to find that your forehand is extremely ineffective, and you'll most likely find that most of your forehands end up in the net or wide, cross court wide. So if that's incorrect, then what should we be doing with our wrist on the forehand side? What we should be doing is something called wrist lag. Now, wrist lag is this position here. So wrist lag is when the butt cap of our racket is pointing to the incoming ball, and you can see here that my wrist is kind of laid back like this in this position here. And this wrist lag happens as the racket drops. I find this wrist lag position, and then as I come forward into the contact point and into the acceleration phase, you see that I lead with my butt cap. And then as I come into contact, my racket face is square to the incoming ball. So my racket face has found itself to the side and in front of my body, and my strings are pointing forward, so I can come onto the ball and make nice and clean contact in the middle of my racket. Whereas when we use the snap of the wrist technique on the forehand side, you'll find that you come into contact leading with really the tip of your racket, and this will cause you to hit a lot of balls too high up on the string, and then that there will lead you to shank a lot of balls wide cross court. So if you want to develop a high level forehand, then you need to learn the wrist lag technique. And you'll be pleased to know that this wrist lag position and this wrist lag technique is actually very, very simple to learn. If you don't defy gravity and the way that your body naturally wants to move, then you will automatically find yourself in this wrist lag position. And many of you would be playing your forehand stroke with a wrist lag and you wouldn't even notice it at all. You'd only notice it if you maybe film yourself from the back in slow motion, and you could see yourself in this position here as you come to make contact. So this wrist lag position is the natural position you will automatically get into if you are doing these correct few things. So first of all, if you play tennis with a Eastern grip, a semi-Western grip, or a Western grip, then you will find that coming into this wrist lag position is pretty natural for you. If you use a continental grip on your forehand, then getting into a wrist lag position is pretty tough. But I don't know too many players that really do use a continental grip anymore. So players that use the Eastern, the semi-Western and the Western forehand grip, you'll find that if you have a take back comes high to start and drops low and then comes back high again, that you will naturally find you get into the wrist lag position, because the weight of the racket as you bring the racket up, and at the end of the take back here, as you come into your racket drop, the natural weight of the racket forces your wrist into this position naturally. So I'm holding the racket pretty nice and loose here, guys. So on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being as tight as I could grip it, and 0 being pretty, really, really loose, then I'm holding it around a 4 or a 5 tightness. So if I try and hold my grip at a 10 out of 10 tightness, as I come into this drop here, I feel very tight, and you can see that my racket can't drop lower than the height of my wrist. I kind of just come here, and then that will lead me to just kind of hit through the ball and to the side. Whereas when I'm nice and loose, my racket drops, and you can see in that camera there that it drops below the height of my wrist, to then allow myself to get under the height of the ball, come up to contact here, creating topspin on the ball, and then brushing over into my follow through. And this wrist lag position as well helps me to stay behind the ball and find that contact point out in front. It's worth reiterating here that the contact point is such a tiny fraction of your forehand stroke. You know, it's such a split second that the real important parts of your stroke are the preparation phase and the acceleration phase as you build up into contact, because this is really going to determine what happens to your ball when you do make that contact at that split second. So a really great drill to help you to learn the wrist lag on the forehand is this one. So with this drill, you're going to come up to a fence or a netting, whatever you have at the back of the court. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you might have seen me demonstrating this drill before, and it's a really, really great one. So what you're going to do is you're going to start in your forehand position, and I'm just going to demonstrate the tip of the racket leading first. So if I lead with the tip of the racket and I don't really get that wrist lag that I want, so I'm just coming forward like this, the first point of contact with the fence is the tip of my racket. And if there were a ball there, then I would be hitting right at the top or even hitting the frame, and that ball would be flying off to my left hand side. It would probably be going well wide into the tram lines. Whereas when you watch me here with my wrist lag, so I find that position, I lead with the butt cap into contact, I make contact here with a square racket face, you'll see if I had a ball here that I'm coming straight on to the ball. So this correct technique here allows me to manipulate the ball however I want, and it allows me to send that ball wherever I want it to go. So I'm going to have a lot more control over the ball, a lot more control over its direction, over its height, over its speed, over its spin, and this will really help me to level up my forehand. So make sure you give this drill a go, guys, and I think it will really, really help you with understanding that wrist lag and coming into contact. In addition, another great drill that you can do on your own on the court is simply just drop balls to yourself and try, as you come into contact, feel yourself get into that wrist lag, lead with the butt cap, and come to contact with the string square on. So let's see that. Okay guys, so that's the end of this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, then please give this video a like and also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one to come. And guys, I'll see you in the next video.